Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Marla Spence.
Now, despite this severe weather that's expected to come to our area and also these heavy winds out here, folks are still out here trying to enjoy the beach. I am in the sunroof of this Toyota Tacoma this afternoon because guess what? The trunk of this vehicle is completely full of school supplies.
Now we are just a few hours away from Nick and Liana taking their first steps out into the wire 25 stories up above Times Square. All night we are bringing you live team coverage of the walk starting now. And before you head to the pool, listen up. There could be something in the water that could literally turn your stomach. Within a 6-week period, 276 people tested positive and 90 people were admitted to the hospital.
I'm live here in the neighborhood where Rodney Jones lives. I tried reaching out to him. I even knocked on his door, but got no answer. Some people who live in this neighborhood say they want answers on why he was asked to step down. A high rip current risk is in full effect here at Siesta Key Beach, where yellow flags indicating a medium hazard are posted on lifeguard stations throughout the beach. I spotted a few manatees, but I spotted something even more concerning: folks not following the rules.
Tonight, we are learning that a small plane headed just north of the Suncoast to St. Pete has gone down in Texas. It was such a beautiful day today. I even went on a walk with my family. I did not see a rain cloud in sight.
Detectives say today a teacher was arrested for having an inappropriate relationship with one of her students.
A $3,000 reward is being offered tonight for a man accused of killing a teen this weekend and dumping his body on the side of a Palmetto roadway.
See him speeding right next to the sign that says slow speed minimum weight.
This footage was captured on today's tour. The person on the jet ski is clearly breaking the rules. Eventually, the captain and tour guide flags him down, but he didn't seem bothered by the warning sign.
This way. You're not supposed to be doing that inside here. If the law enforcement folks, whether it's the Coast Guard, FWC, the sheriffs, or the local police, if they could stake out places, they would probably run out of tickets writing them for folks doing that.
Erin McCarthy was also guiding today's tour. She says on top of putting yourself in danger and at risk for a major ticket and jail time, speeding boaters are putting wildlife at risk for serious injuries and even death. Many times those animals are manatees.
So if a boat is speeding through these shallow grass flats, even if the manatee did have the wit to get out of the way, which we notice they don't, but even if they did, there's nowhere for them to go.
That's because manatees typically graze on their food in about a foot or two of water. Both McCarthy and Captain Mike Draham says speeding boaters are seen nearly every day.
We see it every day, almost every single tour, and we do about 6 tours a day, 365 days a year. So it's unfortunate.
McCarthy says there's a trend. Mostly those breaking the rules are renters.
I don't think they're trying to be jerks. However, they just don't know any better. When they go to rent these boats, they basically get a 5-minute crash course on where they can and can't go, and no one's actually listening. Then they give them the keys and away they go.
Coach Willie Taggart played right here on this football field at Manatee High School back in the early 90s. A coach who continues to work here says he witnessed Taggart's athletic abilities firsthand on this field, and he says from then on he knew Taggart was destined for greatness.
You know, you knew when he was in the huddle, he's very confident. And the players that played around him, I think they played better because of him.
That example is what landed the hometown hero back in his home state as the new head coach at Florida State University. Bowen Summer, who is the Booster Club president for Manatee High School, says he grew up watching Taggart play. Summer says the Alumni Association of the school inducted Coach Taggart into the school's Hall of Fame last month, not knowing he was about to make a big transition back to Florida from the University of Oregon.
I remember being in Gainesville at the '92 state championship team and just watching him and those group of guys, and it kind of fed into my desire to play football at Manatee High School. I want our young kids to know what they can aspire to do.
And one goal Taggart aspires to accomplish is to become the first African-American coach to win a national championship in college football.
If anybody has any attributes to doing it, it's definitely Willie Taggart. So maybe he'll come back to Manatee High School and recruit the area. I know he has ties here.
And if Taggart doesn't make it this time around, there's no doubt he'll be back in the near future because, after all, this is his hometown. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Coming up, isolated showers tonight with a high chance of storms tomorrow. How the weather may impact your plans this holiday weekend. And breaking tonight, you are taking a live look at the damage after a large gas explosion at a South Florida shopping center. We'll have the latest in the investigation now underway. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 6:30.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Marla Spence. We start tonight with breaking news out of South Florida, where a large gas explosion at a shopping center has injured multiple people. The blast in Plantation, Florida, sending large pieces of debris about 100 yards. Authorities say gas may have fueled the explosion, but they have not determined exactly where the gas came from or how it was ignited. 21 people have been transported to the hospital. At least 2 of them are in critical condition. But at this hour, officials say they believe they have accounted for everyone involved in the incident. We'll take a look closer at the damage in South Florida in just a moment. But first, it's a big weekend to be out on the beach and on the water. With a look at our current conditions, let's go to Wendy Ross.